It was with great joy and unfeigned happiness in their hearts that family members, friends and close associates came out en masse to witness the traditional engagement ceremony between Olutoyin Ayodeji Shomolu, the second son of frontline businessman and socialite Asiwaju Femi Shomolu, and his childhood sweetheart Bose Adebimpe Dada, the second daughter of retired Air Marshal Akin Dada. The ceremony, which took place at the palatial home of the Dadas, got underway with the arrival of members of the groom's family, were warmly received by their in-laws. This was followed by a dancing session before the two families were officially introduced. Indeed, the turnout of guests at the ceremony was a clear testimony to the great love and goodwill the two families enjoy from their kith and kin from far and wide. This was further demonstrated with the arrival of the paramount ruler of the Egba Kingdom, Oba Otunba, the Alaki of Egba land, who was on hand to grace the occasion with his royal presence. With the guests seated, the family of the groom made their intentions known with the presentation of the marriage proposal to their in-laws, who joyfully accepted it. As it is customary, the mother of the bride accepted the letter before presenting it to her own husband. The content of the proposal was read by the bride's younger sister, Olubumi Dada. Thereafter, the bride's family conveyed their reply to their in-laws, accepting to give their beautiful daughter to the Shomolu'S in marriage. After the preliminaries, the groom, 35-year-old Olutoyin, was ushered into the venue amidst dancing. He was accompanied by friends and other family members. His first duty was to his parents-in-law, as he performed the customary rites of greeting by prostrating before them. He was ably supported by his friends. With this over, he was asked to sit in between them for a photo pose. Then it was time for Olutoyin to meet his own parents, who warmly received him. Thereafter, he was led to a special seat reserved for him. The music of Demola Olota and his band heralded the arrival of the bride, Abosede Adebimpe Dada, whose beauty was enhanced on this special day. After a makeup session with celebrated makeup artist Banke Lawal, the bride danced her way to meet her parents, who received her with joy. She was later prayed for by her parents and other family members. Her parents-in-law also prayed for her, including other family members. This was followed by a photo session. Then Bose was led to where her husband sat. The couple was later prayed for by a reverend father, who committed their union to the hands of God, praying that it would be a successful journey for the couple. For the groom, Olutoyin, who graduated from the University of Lagos and also a product of Cardiff Business School UK, and presently working with Philip Consulting Lagos, and his bride Bose, a graduate of business studies from the University of Jos. Theirs is a love story that started way back while both of them were students at Maryland Comprehensive Secondary School, Lagos. For both of them, it was a dream come true to be united as husband and wife. From the array of gifts from the groom's family, the bride settled for the Holy Bible and the engagement ring. The climax of the engagement ceremony was when the groom gave the engagement ring to his bride. Then it was time for the cutting of the beautifully decorated cake and the parting of a basket filled with assorted fruits. The couple cut the cake to the delight of the guests present. Then they went on to perform the task of feeding each other, a task they performed excellently well. Thereafter, the couple was prayed for by their parents and the Alaki of Egba land, thus signaling the end of proceedings at the ceremony, with Demola Olota treating the guests to a good dose of his brand of music. The Bisi show spoke to the couple and their parents.
Very happy. Words can't explain how I feel. He's God-fearing, handsome, hardworking, and very kind.
There are two phases to this. The first was in high school, and I noticed, okay, very attractive young girl. We were 15 or 14 at the time, so that was 1985. Then there was we went apart, and we met again in 2004. When you look at someone, you don't see that the person is God-fearing. You just notice something about them. She's different. Of course, she's very beautiful, but apart from that, getting to know her, you now know that she has a very good heart. So, very good heart, straightforward, honest, and family-oriented. I feel very happy and delighted, and I give God all the praise and glory because it's indeed a special moment and day, and it signifies the beginning of our lives together in happiness.
A nice girl, hardworking, respectful, and everything. We are very close. In fact, we are like, although she's my daughter, but we are like sisters. Very close. But when I wake up in the morning, I normally go to her door and said, boss said, how are you? All this. I will miss that one very much. Although I won't be seeing her the way I will just walk to her. They should be prayerful and they should learn to tolerate themselves. And they should be God-fearing. Once they keep the laws of God, I don't think they will have any problem.
I feel very fulfilled, very happy. She's a very good cook. So anytime I want special dishes, I will talk to her and she will do it for me. You have to be patient. Marriage is serious business, but when you have patience and you have God behind you, you succeed.
I feel on top of the world because Toyin and Bosse have finally started the journey to tie up the knot, and Bosse has been his childhood sweetheart. They went to school together and there was a break, and then they met again and they're finally tying the knot. I feel on top of the world, and I wish them all the very best, good health, wealth, fruitful life with children, and everything that they wish for themselves.
I feel happy. If you have a child and he does this kind of thing, it's a very happy thing. So I'm very happy. So I give God the glory. My advice, I have spent 40 years giving that advice. Before he was born out, after he was born, my advice has always been very constant. Do as I do. Patience. Patience. And still more patience. I was able to hold it for 40 years. And I mean 40 years, of which I'm proud. If I've been able to do it, and I know the recipe is patience. That's my advice. Patience, patience. And when you have run out, still more patience.
With the traditional engagement ceremony over, family members, friends and associates of the Shomolu'S and Dadas trooped out in their numbers to honor them at the holy solemnization of their children, which took place at the Chapel of Christ the Light Interdenominational, precisely about a week after the engagement ceremony. Leading all the prominent Nigerians of the church was the executive governor of Ogun State, Otunba Daniel, who was a personal friend of the father of the groom, Asiwaju Femi Shomolu. All the guests from different walks of life were also on hand to register their presence. The church service got underway with the magnificent entry of the bride, who was led into the church by her father. While the congregation sang soul-lifting hymns to the glory and praise of God. After the father of the bride, retired Air Marshal Akindada, handed his daughter, Abosede, to the officiating priest, signaling his consent, the priest took the couple through the exchange of marital vows. Thereafter, the priest prayed on the rings before the couple undertook the rite of exchange to the admiration of the guests present. This beat was followed by a session of prayers. In his sermon at the church service, the officiating priest, Reverend J. O. Tanimonu, admonished the couple to remain as one entity and strive to make their home a haven of peace. He also advised the young couple that with absolute commitment on their part, the marriage will succeed. This was also followed by another round of prayers showered on the couple by the officiating minister. Then it was time for the signing of the marriage register. Leading the way while dancing to beautiful melodies rendered by the church choir, the couple was joined by the best man, the chief bridesmaid, and their parents, who all served as witnesses. The executive governor of Ogun State, Otunba Daniel, also signed a marriage register in his capacity as a witness. This was followed by a photo session. With that over, it was time for celebration as members of the congregation joined in a Thanksgiving session. It was indeed a time of unrestrained jubilation. The service came to a close after prayers and a photo session with the officiating priest. From the church, guests proceeded to the venue of the reception party, the All Seasons Plaza, in the heart of Agidingbi, Ikeja. The caliber of the guests who were present was first class, an eloquent testimony to the class and pedigree of the couple's parents. The program, anchored by multilingual broadcaster Bisi Olatilo, started on a joyful note with the couple's parents taking their seats. The entry of the couple, led by a bevy of beautiful ladies into the arena, enlivened the atmosphere as guests inside the beautifully decorated hall were on their feet in honor of the latest additions to the growing number of married people. The couple danced to the admiration of those present. With this over, the master of ceremony, Bisi Olatilo, asked the guests present to pray for the new couple, wishing them all the good things of life. This was followed by a speech of the chairman of the occasion, Otunba Dr. Alex Onobanjo, a long-standing friend of the groom's father, Ashiwaji Femi Shomolu'S. Otunba Onobanjo admonished the couple to take a cue from their parents, whose journey in life has spanned 4 decades, advising that with tolerance, understanding and love, they will surmount whatever challenge that may confront them in their marriage. The chairman's speech was followed by the cutting of the beautifully designed 4-tier wedding cake. This beat was supervised by the chairman of the occasion, while some other guests surrounded the couple as they performed this task.
A E S U S. You and I will leave us one.
The couple later fed each other to the admiration of guests present. The toast to the couple was given by Tomi Shomolu, the groom's younger brother, who was also the best man. Then it was time to hit the dance floor as the couple danced to sweet melodies rendered by Demola Olota and his band. They were later joined by their parents, family members and other well-wishers. This is wishing Olutoyin and Abosede Shomolu a happy married life.